Hello, hello everyone. Welcome. We are in lesson 6, warping and weaving point twills. This is the Epically Creative Weaving course, module 5, and I am Amy D. McKnight. In this lesson, you will learn how to warp for point twills, how to weave point twills, point twill variations, and tromp as writ. How to warp for point twills. All right, so I'm going to be talking about warping if you have 3 heddles of different densities. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to decide on the width and mark it in the first heddle. That would be shaft 1. Next up, you're going to count the number of slots. That's going to be 24 slots in my case because I'm using a 12 dent heddle for my shaft 1. You're going to divide the number by 2, which is 12, and then you're going to find the center of the other heddles so that you'll be able to move out from the center 12 on each side so that your work is centered in the heddles. You're going to mark the beginning and ending of each of the sections, and then you're going to follow the warping diagram in the book, or you're going to watch me warp in the video to see how I do it. Okay. So we're going to look at point twill variations. Oh, let me go back here real quick. Now, you are going to have a bit of a governor when you're using heddles of different dents. You can only go as wide as the heddle of the lowest dent. So whereas you can warp the 8 dent heddle full width, and I'm using a 10 dent heddle, and I think it's about 10 dents per inch. In my Ashford, well, it should be, but this isn't perfectly 10 dents. Anyway, tangent. In that heddle, I'm going to only be able to go the width of the 8 dents, the 8 dent heddle, which just for easy math, let's say that it is 100 dents, 80 dents wide. So the 10 dent heddle at 10 inches, which is full width, approximately, would be 100 dents, but I can't go full width with that. And the 12 dent heddle, which is 12 dents per inch, would be 120. So you understand why if you're using multiple heddles, the greatest width is going to be the width that is going to be with the heddle of the least dents per inch. If you wanted to do a piece that was full width, it's just going to be a little bit looser than, say, the piece that's warped in the front heddle. And I would suggest that you go, I would put the 10 dent in the middle. I wouldn't move it to the front or the back. I would have, 2 of the same beside each other or put them in consecutive orders. You can always flip it around and you can have a piece that's set at 8 dents because the front heddle is going to control the dents per inch, or you can have a piece that's set at 12 dents per inch. Again, I would not do the 10 dent per inch because it's going to be a little bit wonky. Yes, it's going to have kind of an hourglass shape, whereas this is more of a funnel. This is one of those things that if you are in the community and this is as clear as mud, this would be something that you would want to ask. I will not promise you that I'll be able to answer this in the video. If it doesn't make any sense, just remember, put the heddles in order from least to greatest, greatest to least, if you have multiple heddles, or put the 2 heddles of the same dent together. All right. Now, let's look at how to weave point twill variations. Up to this point in this module, we've been weaving on a straight draw threading. Straight draw is 1, 2, 3, 4, or 4, 3, 2, 1. You can have ascending or descending straight draw threading. Now, point twills threadings feature a pivot. So here is an example of a point twill threading. There is a pivot at 4. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1, or it could be 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, depending on where you start. It's pretty much the same thing. And I have this threading that's threaded on point twill, but it's woven in straight draw. It's really straightforward. It's woven with a 1, 2, 3, 4 lift plan. Now there are variations. There are a lot of variations of point twill. This is an example of a digital drawdown of a point twill that's kind of stretched out a bit, and it has two different little things going on. You have this point right here, and then in the middle you have another point and pivot in here. This is a rose path twill. This is an example of a drawdown for a rose path twill. That, as we saw already, it's a diamond twill. The difference is that we wove it, we threaded it going 1 2 1 2 3 4 4 3 2 1, and we also wove it 1 2 3 4 4 3 2 1, and I am going over 3 under 1. I'm using that lift sequence, over 3 under 1. Now you can see examples of more different types of twills on page 26 in Mr. Zanikis's book. Now let's look at some fun stuff. This is Tromp as writ, and this is a creatively warped 4-shaft draft, just in case you're wondering. All right, Tromp as writ is basically, it means treadle as drawn in, or treadle as written, weave as threaded. So pretty much sometimes you'll just get this top part here, you'll just get the threading, and it says Tromp as writ. So it means that you're going to weave your weaving in the same order as you threaded it. So whereas I threaded this 1 2 3 4 3 2 1, I'm going to weave it in the same order, and you're going to get some really cool geometric patterns. So, like I said, sometimes you're just going to get the threading, and if you just get the threading but you don't have any lift plan, you're just going to repeat the threading as your lift plan. And look at the coolness you get when you do that, right? I think that's pretty neat. Now, you can get some really neat geometric designs when you do Tromp as writ. So in this lesson, you learn how to warp for point twill, how to weave point twill, some point twill variations, and Tromp as writ. Now, if you don't know what I'm about to say, I know you know what I'm about to say. I'm going to say, warp and weave along with me as I warp and weave a section of point twill. And as always, I want to invite you to join my weaving community. It's a wonderful place to get real direct access to me in a way that you just can't repeat on social media. I mean, I can answer a few questions, as I can, but there's nothing like being able to see what other people are asking and learn from their questions and my answers, as well as being able to ask your own questions and post your own pictures and get really helpful feedback in real time, because I'm pretty active in my community, as you can imagine. If it's not open right now, then go ahead, just get on the wait list, and the next time I open the doors, then you'll be able to come and have a spot in the community, and we are looking forward to hanging out with you. And again, if you have not already printed out and downloaded and printed out the Expanded Your Options game board, go ahead and do that. It's the best way to keep track of what you're learning as you are putting these things into practice. You will not learn to weave well by watching me teach or watching me weave over my shoulder. You will learn to weave. You will learn to be able to master these things by trying them out and practicing them and making mistakes and learning from your mistakes. Now, if you want to share this on social media so that you can see what other people are doing, hashtag creative multi-shaft weaving so that we can follow your progress on the social media. Thank you so much for watching. Please comment and leave me some feedback on this video. Subscribe to this channel if you're not already. Ring that notification bell and share this video. In the next lesson, you're going to learn how to warp 2 heddles for 3-shaft weaving, how to weave 1 2 and 2 1 twills, and how to weave point twill on 3 shafts. So much fun. So much fun. I cannot wait to share this with you in the next video.